Well, just having a quick drink stop. The wind is really picking up here. It's getting a bit mental, and the sea's looking. Oh, look, it's not too bad. This is the eastern side, though, and yeah, this is actually the calmer side of King Island. You can hear that wind. It's getting pretty bad, but we are heading to a point in that direction. So that point, you can see past this little bay, way in the distance, even further. There you go, max zoom. You can see the waves breaking on that point way in the distance. That's where we're going. That's Barrier Creek, I think. Nah, I think that's it. Worst case scenario, just at this little point here, there's a freshwater stream coming out. Hopefully there's water. I checked it out on Google Earth earlier, and that's pretty much a backup camp in there. We'll check that out anyway. Alright, I'm gonna have a quick drink of water, then we'll get on our way. Yeah, here we go. I've got a little bit of fresh water here. There's a bit of a spring that comes out. Problem is, high tide, you can see where salt water is washed over, so it could be pretty nasty. So just a bit further up, I think it's just a drain that's collapsed, cattle drain. But there's fresh water trickling down here, and there's a little creek. So worst case, I can actually just venture way up there and get some cleaner water if I needed it. There's plenty of good shelter here, like behind this boxthorn and all these coastal shrubs. I could hunker down in there if things go to shit, which they may. I think this is quite unusual. Like, let's just stop and admire for a minute how it just goes from, you know, full ocean, couple of meters of coastal growth, then on to luscious green paddocks. Isn't that unreal? It just transitions into ocean to pasture in a matter of meters. It's a pretty unusual and unique place. It's just beautiful, I think. Yeah. Oh well, we'll keep dragging that way. Here we go, here's a quick shelter if I need one. Don't have to do much there. Look at that. Nice and flat. Got that tree there and this massive windbreak. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. We'll remember this one for later in case we need it. Oh, this is cool. What a funny little spot. Check them out. Yeah, whatever they are, could someone leave that in the comments, just tell me what these bloody water plants are. They're pretty cool. What's in here? Oh yeah, just a little dam and it just slips down into there. Yeah, cool. That's all spring water too. That's all coming out of the mountain range here. I wouldn't call it much of a mountain range, but for King Island it's a pretty big bloody mountain. Yeah, right. Well, that's another good water source, I suppose. Oh, let's carry on up here. What have we here? Oh, that's cute. It's a little cabin down by the beach. Look at that. It's got a nice little sea view. I don't think anyone's used it for a while. What's going on up there? There's a treehouse. Just watch me step around here. Hey, dog bowl. Oh man. What do you reckon? Fixer upper? There's a kettle down there. The big old macrocarpa, I think it's taken over though. Let's look at this treehouse. It's another point of interest. Oh, here we go. Here's a ladder for this treehouse over here. Why does it feel eerie here? Just, I don't know. Something about abandoned structures makes me feel uneasy. Little aluminium ladder. Yeah, it's just a kid's treehouse. Look. Yeah, Nothing to see there. Okay, the terrain is really starting to change now. It's getting a lot more craggy, a lot more rugged. The coastline just got a bit tougher, I think. That's the way I came. Pretty easy going through the paddocks. Big rolling hills. Might be easy to walk up one of those hills and just go across. Because that's looking pretty wild. We'll have a look anyway. I won't chicken out just yet. Alright, I won't take the long bloody hike up the hill just yet. Let's go have a look. This place is just wild, eh? I love it. The further I walk south, the more wild it gets. Oh man, what an experience this is. I've had to come up a fair way. I'm so happy the Wallabys have little tracks all along here. Oh man, I'm buggered. I'm gonna keep creeping around this knoll and yeah, hopefully I can access Barrier Creek. Otherwise I'm gonna have to go up and over, which I don't feel like doing, but I'll do it anyway if I have to. I really got to pay attention here, otherwise I'm gonna have a nasty fall. Alright, well, this coastline just seems to change every 100 metres. Down there is a whole heap of shag, so I call that shag rock. Massive drop down there, and there's a huge gully going up. That house you can see in the distance, I believe on the other side of that house is my destination. Man, I think the only sensible thing to do is to backtrack up the hill and go across the top, because that coastline, it's looking a bit sketchy. I don't want to take any stupid risks. I'm not breaking an ankle today. Oh well, up we go. So I think I'm here, finally. I just come down through like this massive friggin' hill, huge, and it's dense. It was like thicker than that, and I was pushing trees and dragging myself through the bloody undergrowth. And I just come down this hill and I'm greeted by this. This is a magic little spot. Check this out. And this is what we get. Have a look at this. It's just like a little mini beach. So you got this huge bloody sheer, oh really, it is steeper than it looks. It's crazy steep. And you got this funny little bay, and it's pumping. Look at the waves pumping into it. And I think the creek comes out over here somewhere. So without my pack and my gear, I'm just going to try and get through there and just scope out where the actual creek is. That is nuts. Oh man. So I've done it. I found Barrier Creek at last. Oh man. That's the mouth just down there. And then looking back up. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get down there where it's a bit easier going, get out of the scrub, walk upstream and find myself a campsite. So this river or creek was originally used for mining gold. People come here looking for gold, and one of this creek, for some reason they chose this one. There's a lot of creek sand, and there's a lot of that really dark gravel stuff, which I believe is where they tend to find gold. Correct me if I'm wrong. Anyway, I'm gonna make my way up there, and yeah, I'm gonna try not to twist an ankle. So it's kind of gone into this big bloody gorge, and check this out. There is a waterfall. Let's get a better shot of that, eh? That looks pretty cool to me. Eek. Oh, yep. How cool is that? Big gorge, bloody waterfall. I want to go further up, but it's getting dark. I need to find a campsite. I'm thinking up on that knoll. How the hell am I going to get up there? We'll figure it out. Well guys, this is going to be the spot. It's going to overlook the gully and the ocean. The rest of the gully, there's the sun setting to the west. So straight up there, that's Barrier Creek, and branches off to the left to Robbins Creek. It might be the other way around, but it's close enough. Tonight there's a slight breeze, but hey, this is the only flat spot I got. Otherwise it's down near that rock, and that's not entirely flat. It's a bit damp. Oh, I better crack into it. I've never assembled this tent before, so I think it's time to make some progress of it. Now you guys get to watch me squabble like an idiot setting the tent up. How cool is that? So already, without the rain fly, it's done. It's actually pretty easy. You just got to stake it out right. It just goes up so easily. The poles are pretty good. Let's put the rain fly on and see how that goes. It's the Australian Nomad 2. That's the easiest tent I've ever deployed in my life. So that's the rain fly on it. So the base of it is pegged down separately to the fly, so it keeps it off the actual fly mesh, so no moisture can wick through. It's got optional ventilation, which I'm not going to need tonight because it's going to be cold, so you can obviously pin those out if you like. Yep. And these are on lucky bands for the rain tarp, so you can adjust them quite a bit. It's pretty big. For a 2.1 kilo tent, it's pretty damn big. Fiberglass poles. You got a little bit of space there to put your boots or anything you want to keep dry if you've got a smaller pack. Me, I'm going to put my pack in here because there's a shite load of room in here. There's heaps of room. So much room for activities. For $79, that's the best thing I've ever bought. Oh, if it's waterproof. If it is waterproof, that is the best thing I've bought for $79. But check that out. What a groovy little tent. I'm stoked. I really am. Okay. So this dry bag contains something very important. In here is my lovely merino wool blanket. I like wool blankets because even when they're wet, they still keep you warm. Unlike a synthetic sleeping bag, you get it wet, your warmth is gone straight away. My trusty axe. This is not a fancy Hutford's Brook or Holterfors axe. This is a bloody $30 axe. And I put a nice spotted gum handle on it, which I've sealed with epoxy and sanded it so it feels nice and grippy. And that's a paracord neck guard for overstrikes. And that's also just epoxy resin. It's hard as hell. And you know what? It makes a great little axe. What, 30 bucks plus a $12 handle and a bit of paracord and some resin, you got yourself an excellent $50 axe. My wife just bought me this. I'm pretty excited about it. It's that All Seasons insulated Nemo tensor mat. Let's check it out. Oh, I'm getting sniffly, eh? I've been out in the cold wind, sweating. As old Survivor Man would say, if you sweat, you die. I'm not going to die. I'm just going to get a little bit sweaty and cold. Oh yep, here's the bag they give you. thing is not a gimmick. This is the real bloody deal, this bag. It is so good. Watch this. I'll get it in frame so you can actually see what I'm doing. It just clips in like that. Clip. Open the bag, give it a breath of air, that's it. Fill it up. You're pumping. That's one breath of air. It works on the velocity of you blowing air into it, and air just keeps going into it. I'm not a scientist, but apparently that's how it works. Let's do that again. Look how much air I just got in it. It's 2 bags. I'll go one more and we're done. And we're done. He's so good. He's so cool. Pretty happy with that. As you can see, there's room for another sleeping mat if we want it. There's more than enough room in this tent for 2 people. I suppose I've got time to show you guys my electronics bag. Cheapo head torch. Uses 18650 batteries. Some charging cables. We've got a little pop-out Darchi tent light. Can I mount it in here? Oh, it's got a, look at that, it's got the bloody hook. That's so handy, it's got the hook for my little light. I'm so happy. Let's sit him up there. Let's sit him up there. Here you go, little fella. It's your new home. Oh, look at that! Look at that! Oh, it's the small things in life. It's the small things in life. Okay, what's next? TP. Always carry toilet paper. Now, this is what makes my head torch good. These are good Panasonic 18650 batteries. This head torch will run all night on these. Get those in it shortly. Last but not least, a 20 amp hour battery bank, Anker. They make good ones. They use Panasonic cells as well. And I've had a very good run out of this for 70 bucks. You can't go wrong, guys. Charge everything. And that's my electronics bag. We'll stash these guys up here for a bit. So this is a single wall stainless bottle with a big dent in it, might I add. What's great about these is that you can boil water in them. You take the lid off it obviously and you can boil and drink. Don't do it with a double skin one because it'll explode. Next thing I'm going to try is something random and ridiculous, but it should work. I'm going to use the tent bag for a pillow, so I'm going to go find some I don't know, grass, debris, stuff this thing full, and hopefully I got some sort of pillow. Let's go do that. I just found this little natural rock formation near my tent. just down the hill a bit. It's going to make a good fire pit. I reckon it's going to be just perfect. So I'm going to use this as a fire pit. I've got some tinder. Keep it off the ground. It's this pampas grass sort of stuff. It's all dead. Problem is it's really humid at the moment. There's a lot of moisture in the air. So I'm not quite sure if I'm going to get a fire going or not. But I'm going to try because I want to cook and boil some water, so I'm going to have a cuppa. That's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to go on a little mission to get a small fire going in that pit. And I'll get back to you once I do that because I'm running out of light. It's really calm now. Super calm, like, how beautiful is that? Whoa. Stop auto-focusing. Yeah. It's pretty good, man. Pretty darn good. Okay, so it's time to get this fire going now. I've got everything prepared. I've got some small stuff, some slightly bigger stuff again. I've got that big tuft of grass keeping my tinder bundle off the ground because the ground is soaked. That technique allows your tinder to actually light and your fire to actually get started a lot easier because this is creating a thermal barrier between the wet ground and your tinder. I'll show you a useful trick with the silky saws and your ferro rod. What you can do with them, you can actually shave nice bits of ferro or ferrocium without it sparking. And by doing that, yeah, there's preloading. Essentially, you're going to have more preloading. I just made that up, that term. It's not the real term. You're just getting more ignition material into your tinder bundle. So when you do strike a spark, it's going to be much stronger. All right. Boom. We're ready with it. Yes. Now that's a fire. See, I had that stuff ready to go. Whew. Yep, we got it going. All my tools are there. I know where they are. They're safe. Oh. 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 Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Wow, wow, wee, wow. And we steadily build it up. You see, that wouldn't have even happened, or this wouldn't even be burning still, if I had just grabbed timber off the ground. It's about looking up. Look up, look for branches that have been caught in a V of trees, and they are your friend. Because not only is it a dead branch, it'll be bone dry dead. Gloves are important, people. I've actually cut myself camping several times with my silky saw. I don't know how I do it. I just fidget with things and I cut myself. Not bad, like just enough to be annoying. And I have to get the first aid kit out. So that's the silky gomboy. It's a great little saw. It's compact, it's light, it cuts what you need, you know, like it doesn't cut ridiculous sized wood. But as you'll see, it rips through timber, it really does. Let's try and get it in frame for you so you can get dirt on it. You know. Someday, someday. I'm about there between the knot. Beautiful. Get a little bit more. Might get one more nice blackwood log that's dead standing like that. That's what gets you to coals. Firewood. Silky saw to the rescue. So it only cuts on the pull, it's a pull saw. It's not a push pull saw, it's only cutting on the draw, which is better. Somehow it's better. The Japanese are onto something with these, eh? They're just so nice. They live up to their name, really. It really is a silky saw. Oh, it's beautiful. That's going to be good. It's going to be very good wood. Very good. Oh, this stuff is pretty dead. This is hardwood. There you go. Oh, it's beautiful. It's bone dry and that's gonna burn really well. That's a nice little pile of logs, a handy little saw. Happy days, time to get some, I think it's a cup of tea is in order. So yeah, I just like to place my bottle, just not in the middle of the fire, just indirectly. Usually have it standing up on a straight angle, but it doesn't matter, it's got the rock as a backrest, it's not going to overflow there. And once it's boiled, I get my gloves and just quickly pinch the top out. Or pinch the top and pull him out. Then you've got a nice big hot cup of tea. It's also handy to boil water, like fresh drinking water, to kill all the pathogens and shit. Does a good job. Okay. So I'm starting to get some coals here. And I've got a nice little bit of lamb. Just a little tiny lamb rack of ribs. And I've already pre-seasoned it with a bit of salt, rosemary and thyme. On my little titanium grill. So I'm just going to scoop coals underneath it and also cook it in directly next to the fire. Got my cup of tea over here. Perfect. Oh, spilt some on my gloves. Idiot. This happens when you're doing too many things at once. It's got it's rooibos tea with some added spices to it. Some weird some hippie lady at a market, I bought it off her. It's called, I don't know, mulled spices or something. Tastes really good. Anyway, I'm gonna have some tea and I'll give you guys an update when the lamb is ready. Oh, I'm calling that done. Have a look at it. Oh, yeah, buddy. That's what life's all about right there. Oh, it's such a good way to cook lamb. Just over the hot coals. It's got that nice smoky flavour to it. I'll get back to you soon. Yeah, alright. Well, dinner was done. That lamb was incredible. It's just, you can't beat it over the campfire. It's just something about it. It must be the smoke, the way it cooks. It's just so nice. Anyway, yeah, I'm in my little tent. I'm just
hoping I'm not going to get too cold tonight because I've only got my wool blanket and what I'm wearing. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. I should be alright. This tent, you know, the rain fly's blocking a bit of wind, but you can still get underneath it, which is to be expected. But it's not that windy. I don't think it's going to pick up. It's supposed to die off. I'm just going to double check the weather. But I'll see you guys in the morning and we'll go looking for that abandoned gold mine shaft. Apparently there's a dugout. Apparently there's a cave. I've heard rumours. I'm going to go look for it. I want to find it. Alright. See how we go. Alright, peace. Oh, good morning everyone. So I've just broken down camp and it's a beautiful morning. So cold last night. Like, yeah, I reckon it got down to about 2 degrees easily. I camped up here because I thought, you know, it wouldn't get so cold compared to 50 metres down in the gully. I hate to know how cold it got down there. But yeah, pack's all sorted and squared away. Come on, there we go. So I'm gonna go looking for this gold mine again. Oh yeah, we might even get a nice shot looking up the gully here. Deeper it gets. It's right, slow and steady. We'll be right. So I'll take a moment to speak about that Austrail tent. It went up easy, it come down easy, it went back into its bag pretty easy. Got no dramas with it. It's definitely not a winter tent because it's got a ton of ventilation, even with all its flaps closed off. So just be mindful of that if you do want to purchase that tent. But I think you should just buy it because for $79, like, it feels like a $250, $300 tent, you know, it's awesome. And if you're like me and you don't like stuffing around for bloody 20 minutes trying to put your tent away, then that tent is for you, alright? Now that lamb went down an absolute treat. Oh, I'm not even hungry this morning, I just want some water. I'm going to replenish my water stocks. Oh, yeah, that's not so bad, the creek's just here. Just down the hill, I can see the running water. Bit of a waterfall. It's a pretty system, it really is. Alright, I better get off the camera before I tumble down to the bottom of the hill. He's a good climber. I'll hand you that, Mr. Possum. You, sir, can climb. Hey mate, what are you doing? Have a good morning, Mr. Possum. Okay, see those pink ribbons in the trees? I just followed all of them all the way and it just goes back to the back of someone's farm. I thought someone may have mapped out a track that leads to the old mine, but nah. Oh, I've got my pack back on. I'm gonna hike straight up the side of the creek. It looks pretty easy. See how we go, eh? I'm gonna take another moment to really soak up the beauty of this place. Wow. How cool are the big tree ferns. There's actually a bit of a flat spot here too. Hopefully it stays like that the whole way. That'd be easy going, wouldn't it? Let's crack on. So the Barrier Creek mine eludes me. I can't find the bloody thing. Maybe the intel I got was dodgy, or they pointed at the wrong spot on the map, because I went exactly where they said it was going to be. Bit of creek water. Ugh. But there's just so much ground to cover here, like, and it is steep, man. Like, it's wildly steep. It's hard to get the scope on camera, but it is steep here. Don't you worry about that. I think I might try and find an exit, try and get out of this wilderness and try and find a track, and hopefully not encounter too many problems. See all these little birds following me, they're so cool. I'll try to get a shot of them. Little finches. Seen a few different birds around here. Oh, we've done it. The tree line in the very far distance, that's Barrier Creek. It just got too dense, too thick. I couldn't find the mine. I'm not giving up on that though. I'm going to get some better intel. I'm going to go looking for it again. I'm determined to find it because I'm that disappointed. Alright, well, this road, or you follow power lines and roads, this will get me back to the main road. And I'll follow the main road until I get to my bush block where my ute's parked. Guys, thanks for watching. I love going on little adventures like this. It just gets me out and about. Get to see some pretty cool stuff. And I suggest anyone do it. Just buy some cheap hiking gear, like, you know, like that tent I bought, the $79 tent. Stuff like that. Don't lash out on every bit of gear. Just pick the bits that work for you. And just get out and about. Alright guys.